Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, clashes between pro-Israel and pro-Palestinian protesters occur in Washington, D.C. So, what do you want? Things will increase, things will escalate, not in the Middle East, but wherever they have, whatever countries or nations have among themselves, Palestinians and Israelis and so on. So that is, they will spill over from wherever they have a problem to wherever they are. That is like, for instance, you invite, because you're a nice person, your relatives to spend Christmas with you, or they simply show up, however you like. You invite them or they show up. And some of these relatives, during the Christmas celebration, they don't like one another, some of them, and they start fighting in your house because something that they did somewhere outside of your house. So they settle some scores in your house that they started somewhere else. So what would you do? Obviously, you try to stop, and then what do you do next? All right, this party is screwed. You probably close the party and say that's it, or send them out, kick them out, and guess what? Next Christmas celebrations, what do? Do not invite them. Correct? Correct, I would say, unless you want to have the same clown show. And in this case, you have the same clown show, and this will escalate. Why? Because there are, I suspect, many guns that are unaccounted for. I'm not talking about the law-abiding citizens with guns. I'm talking about the illegal guns that are here. And then I'm not talking about pew, pew, pss, pss, pss. Not that kind of guns, okay? And now with the garbage in Ukraine, those guns were seen in what? In Mexico, in the cartels. So with the southern border being so closed, I'm pretty sure those guns did not cross into the United States of America. They are in Europe, and I'm waiting for those guys to act like imbeciles. But, well, what do you want? Invite them to next party, next year. Because you don't learn. Or you learn, but the guys in charge of you, they want something for you. They want a good party. Why? Because they are insulated. They're not in the party. They're outside. You are dealing with these protests, not them. All right, let me show you this little article here. This comes from Daily Beast, Garbage Beast, but anyway. Police intervene as pro-Israel and pro-Palestine protesters clash in Washington. State of Washington or Washington, D.C. I'm assuming it's Washington, D.C. If this article would be a reporting article, we would try to put at least some other flags here, or no flags, or I don't know what kind of flags. But from the very beginning, it's clear what direction this article is going to go. But anyway, at least as of now, police stepped in to break up scuffles, which broke out between groups of pro-Israel and pro-Palestine protesters in Kirkland, Washington on Sunday, and not only. So, videos of the clashes shared online appear to show the opposing demonstrators fighting over flags and getting into physical altercations the day after Hamas launched an unprecedented attack against Israel, prompting Tel Aviv to declare war. You know what's strange? I haven't found yet. You see, this is unprecedented, okay, which I think is true. But you know what? I didn't find yet this word unprovoked that was used in Ukraine or anything like that. I don't know why they don't use that yet, but probably they use it in different areas. So, prompting Tel Aviv to declare war. Correct. And I'm quoting, a few of the protesters on the Israeli side came up and spit on us. End quote. A protester told Kiro TV, and I'm quoting, they ran into the middle of the crowd and started throwing punches. I got punched. Kirkland police announced on Twitter that it was working with demonstrators from opposing views, and I'm quoting, both parties are working peaceful with the police at this time, the agency said, adding that streets had been closed in the area. So here it is. Kirkland. Is this in Washington or Washington, D.C.? I do not know. I have to find out. Just a second. And I was wrong. I thought it was Washington, D.C., but it's not Washington, D.C. It's the state of Washington. It's very, very strange. It says that a suburb east of Seattle. Okay, now we know. So it was not Washington, D.C. Another thing here, if you look at, I've been to the state of Washington. I've been to Portland, Oregon. I've been to the, in the state of Washington. State of Washington. Yeah, state of Washington. I thought I said Seattle. Yes, I've been to Seattle and so on. And I look at the trees here, and they like threw me off. I was like, I know what kind of vegetation is over there. Not necessary, but you see a lot of pines over there, and this is just not pines. But anyway, I'm not going to play this video. You go and watch it here on Natasha Mozgovaya. Okay, Natasha, thank you very much. So here it is, my friends. You're going to see more of this, and this will escalate. And I will not be surprised. I will not be surprised if you're going to have really, the thing from there spilling in the United States of America. And I'm hoping these guys are on high alert, because it's like ABC 1, 2, 3. It goes without saying that you're going to have some cells activated. I'm guessing, or they do not want to wake these guys up, even though these guys, we know on what side they are on. That's one. The other one, you probably don't want to give them a reason to say, see, now we definitely have to do something about them. Now it's like, me movies, but so maybe that's another thing that those guys are taking into consideration. If they are not fanatics, because you're a fanatic, you don't think of this kind of consequences. You just think that this and that, and you become irrational, because fanaticism is a feature of heart pushed by certain kind of ideologies. So you're most likely to act, I don't want to say illogically, but in disregarding consequences, the big picture, let's put it this way. But we'll see. I hope it doesn't happen, but I will be surprised not to. There were some protests in Berlin. I covered that in a video yesterday. There were no clashes, but the police intervened and dispersed the celebrating crowd. There are protests in support of Palestine, and I don't know if more than Palestine, in Turkey, and I think in Great Britain and in other areas. You just have to look for them. They are there. The articles are there, but not in the mainstream, any mainstream media, because people like disinform and misinform, they know. No, never. You see, these guys mostly lie through omission. And not only through omission, but obviously showing you this little thing here from the very beginning. You see, this is the bottom, showing this from the very beginning, this, instead of, it was something between two groups, one supporting A, the other one B, okay, and they got into it. A said, oh, wait a minute, it's the B who came and beat us up, and still they show this. They didn't cover here the Israel's response to this, or Israel's, there would be a different article. But anyway, I will make another video, probably today, certainly today, but I don't know if it's going to be after this one or not, where I'm going to show you, and I'm going to talk about how these guys are trying to police our semantics, our vocabulary, the words we use when we refer to certain things. And if you don't use the mandatory words, why mandatory? Because they don't say you have to use that, otherwise we're going to do it. It's illegal. No, if you say that, we're going to blame you, we're going to cancel you, we're going to come after you. So they, by consequences, negative consequences that they can push, they will make us change certain words, certain terms for certain events, actions, obviously, and people, and so on. And you don't have to do that. But if you do that, they might come after you, and which is fine, as long as they don't, throw you in jail, or, I don't know, lose your job or something like that. Anyway, here is, my friends, I predict things will escalate, will become more numerous than just one here, one there. It's going to be more than that. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, but hey, why don't you invite more of your warring relatives to your Christmas party? Have a great, inclusive, diverse party. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.